Hello friends, Downey here to take a look at the Carolina Panthers preseason profile. We'll start off with their additions this offseason. The big one was Dontari. He comes over from division rival Atlanta Falcons, and it was a good pickup for Carolina. Yeah, they lost Star. I kind of think they upgraded at DT though. The other moves, well, Torrey Smith, Ross Cockrell, C.J. Anderson, kind of more depth secondary options, not the same star power as Poe. In the draft, I like taking DJ Moore. I might have gone Calvin Ridley, but Moore has great upside. He could be a great player for Carolina. I like Ian Thomas. He could develop into a starting tight end for Carolina, but frankly, I'm not huge fans of Dante Jackson or Rashawn Golden, so that's kind of going to knock down their grade for me. The big losses, though, were key, namely Andrew Norwell. That was a huge one for Carolina, one of the premier guards in the NFL. He is gone, not by choice, but because Carolina just simply really couldn't afford him. That's a big blow there. All in all, I give it a C for Carolina. I didn't love their draft. I hate losing Andrew Norwell. Not there's anything they could have done there, but it was just average overall. They didn't get substantially worse by any means, but with teams like the Saints, Falcons, and Bucks making big moves in free agency in the offseason, Carolina kind of stood pat more or less. On to their preseason schedule at the Buffalo Bills in Week 1. That'll be a nice matchup of, I guess, friends between Buffalo and Carolina at this point, given all the crossover and coaching staff and front office. Dolphins in Week 2, Patriots in Week 3, and at the Pittsburgh Steelers to end the preseason. We'll focus, of course, on the Week 3 dress rehearsal matchup, Patriots and the Panthers. We'll go into more depth on this here in just a minute, but that adjusted offensive line is a big question mark for Carolina. I also want to see how this revamped secondary looks against a potent Patriots offensive attack. On to the training camp storylines, and the big one, how do you replace some key offensive linemen? At first, it was just going to be Andrew Norwell, but Daryl Williams hurt his knee. He is going to miss at least a good portion of the season, and now left guard and right tackle are very much question marks. I kind of thought that Moton could win the left guard job. He's going to be at right tackle. You get Khalil healthy, that's a big deal there. Trey Turner remains great, but big question marks at left guard and right tackle, replacing two of the best in the NFL at their respective positions. We'll see how they fare. I have some concerns about that offensive line. The good news is Cam Newton knows how to run, so he can at least run around and try and stay healthy if the offensive line does have issues. As for the secondary, that's my other big question mark on this Panthers offense, or this Panthers team. Overall, this is a good Panthers defense, but I don't love the secondary. James Bradberry, I like. Beyond that, at cornerback and even the secondary overall, I'm just not convinced. Kevon Seymour, Russ Cockrell, Captain Munnerlyn, we'll see. Maybe Dante Jackson emerges quickly. That's the hope there for Carolina. I like Cornelder, but he's kind of a man miscast right now. At safety, I really don't like it. I thought they needed a number one guy. I don't think that's Golden. I didn't love what I saw at Tennessee. Hopefully I'm wrong there for Carolina's sake. But overall, a lot of question marks on the secondary. The good news is the front seven will make up for it, especially once Thomas Davis returns from his suspension. One final one, kind of more of a overarching one. How does Cam Newton fit in this new offense? Now, I don't know if I really believe in Norv Turner, but maybe he'll prove me wrong here. And my biggest concern, this is really more speculation, don't make Cam Newton into something that he's not. Cam Newton is not a pure drop-back pocket passer. Let him be Cam Newton. Let him run. Let him use his legs. Let him have the extra 700 yards on the ground, because you add that together, you're looking at 4,000 yards from your quarterback, and that's kind of what you want as your baseline, right? Let Cam Newton be Cam Newton. My fear is that Carolina, with Norv Turner, will put him into a pocket passing bubble. I don't trust Norv to be all that creative. I do have some concerns here. So hopefully Newton is the Newton that we have seen in the past and has been so immensely gifted for Carolina, an MVP caliber quarterback in Cam Newton. So let us know if you think Cam Newton will win another MVP. Give me a 1 for yes, a 2 for a no. It's not going to be this year, but I could see it again down the road if Cam Newton is able to stay healthy and the Panthers offense uses him in the way that they absolutely should. Now we'll move to their 2018 schedule, and look, NFC South, NFC overall, it means it's hard. Cowboys in Week 1, Atlanta in Week 2, two tough games to start even though one is at home. The Bengals in Week 3, Giants in Week 5, the early bye this year. Week 6 is at Washington. They got to win those 3 games. Panthers, I think, have to be either 3-2 or 4-1 at the absolute worst, because then they go play the Eagles on the road. they probably won't win that one. But the Ravens and Bucks are both winnable games, so at least you're thinking, hey, we can be there 5 or 6 wins, and then kind of comes a little bit tougher stretch for Carolina at the back half of the schedule. They go play the Steelers Week 10 on the road, Thursday Night Football. That's going to be a tough one. Even Detroit on the road is going to be difficult. Seattle, we'll see how they're faring. At Tampa, it's the NFC South that's always tough. Cleveland should be a win, even though Cleveland's different and new this year. But then a gauntlet to end the year. Home against the Saints, home against the Falcons, on the road against New Orleans. Those 3 games will decide if Carolina can win the NFC South, or maybe if they miss the playoffs altogether. Some odds for the Panthers to win the Super Bowl 53, plus 3,500. Rather high odds. They're below the Giants, which doesn't make any sense to me. I think Vegas is really underplaying Carolina's chances there. Yes, after finishing third in the NFC South, it's a gauntlet of a division. Saints, Falcons, Panthers, order them how you want. I think Carolina's behind the Falcons and the Saints right now. But even third in the NFC South, as we saw last year, is good enough to make the playoffs. Carolina will be a playoff contender. Whether or not they make it is another question, though. So, folks, let me know where the Panthers will finish in the NFC South this year. Is it first, second, third, or are you crazy and want to go out there with a 4th place prediction? I'll peg them at third as a borderline playoff team around 9 or 10 wins, but in a tough NFC, that might not be enough. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter @ChatSports for more NFL coverage throughout the offseason. And until next time, we'll see you.